If you have trouble writing descriptive, narrative, or recount essays, then this video is for you. Are you one of those students who keep writing expository, argumentative, information essays because you think that you don't have what it takes to write descriptive essays? Well, actually, there are many ways to help you level up your descriptive writing essays very, very simply. So in this video, rather these few videos, I'm going to show you the different ways, the different techniques that you can apply to write better descriptive essays. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's have a look at what we have here. All right, how to write recount narrative descriptive essays. Before I start talking about the question, I'm going to use the terms recount, narrative, descriptive interchangeably. I know there are differences between these terms, but for the purpose of this video, let's just consider that they're all the same. Yeah. So because this is a part of a series of videos, for this particular video, we're just going to talk about planning the descriptive essay. Let's have a look at the question here. Describe the sights and sounds at a busy shopping mall. Remember to describe some of the people there as well as the place. This question, some of you might find it quite familiar because it was from O Level 2021. So why not use something from Cambridge, right? Now, how do we plan the essay? A lot of students think that to plan the essays, they gotta do this, okay? Draw this triangle or a mountain, a plot, and start thinking about, oh, okay, I'm gonna start here. This is gonna happen, and then there's the climax, and then I'm gonna like come down a little bit, and there I have the resolution. Now, this doesn't quite work for many types of essays. For many reasons. I'm not going to go into the details, but this is not the best way to plan an essay for exams. When it comes to examinations, you want to plan an essay that is short, that is written within the time limit, within the word count as well. So you want to make sure that you are planning strategically. The best way that you can do so is by planning from the back. So what I would always do is to start off at the back and say, okay, this is how it's going to end, and work backwards and how it's going to start. And always remember to include emotions in your essays. Emotions are the foundations of all descriptive narrative essays. So you need to have emotions. Like for me, I like to start off, I like to have something where there's no happy ending. You end off quite sad. And that means you're going to start off your story quite happy as well, right? Because you must have a transition in emotions. If not, the essay is going to be very bland. So you're going to start off happy, and then something's going to happen, and you end up upset at the end of the day. And let's go into planning. I'm going to show you how I plan this essay, and you can see my thought process. Now, I don't use this structure, by the way. I don't, because it's time consuming. I just go with bullet points, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to end off my essay by saying, let's see. Let's use a bullet point here. I'm going to end off the essay by saying, I swear to never visit again, to never visit a shopping mall, or rather the shopping mall again. Okay, so what happened? What happened? Now, we know that this is a crowded shopping mall. It's a busy shopping mall. Maybe this is so crowded that you had a very bad experience. In my experience, I think the worst thing that can happen is you go to a shopping mall. It's so crowded that you can't find a place where you can eat. So that to me is a huge bummer. So I'm going to include that. I'll say, okay, or maybe it's not just I, there's a couple of people in there, a couple of characters. We could not find, okay, we waited, but there was no seat for us. Okay. We went home hungry. Maybe we just ate like Maggie mee at home. Okay, or we ended up eating at home. Then what happened before that? We know this is probably a restaurant. Maybe I want to talk about like what's there at a restaurant. So because again, it's crowded. Perhaps you were waiting in line, one paragraph for waiting in line. Yeah, and maybe you're a little frustrated. Getting frustrated. Okay. And before that, what happened? Now, of course, this is a restaurant, right? Remember, you're supposed to describe the place. Describing the place is one of the criteria. So why don't we describe the restaurant, the busy restaurant? Yeah. And I do remember that we also have to describe people right here. I am going to go with describing people, perhaps in this particular paragraph when you're waiting in line, right? I'm sure you're always waiting in line with some others. You want to focus on one particular character and say, hey, let's focus on this person. Maybe this person is annoying, is adding on to your frustration. I would say perhaps you were waiting in line with a screaming kid who was very noisy, annoying. So right now, this paragraph is dedicated to describing a person, a particular character. And describing the busy restaurant, that still doesn't quite answer the question yet. So let's look at the question. They are talking about shopping mall, right? So why don't we describe the busy shopping mall as well? Yeah. And then remember, you must have a change in emotion. Since we're going to end off feeling pretty salty about the entire experience, maybe at the beginning, it was quite the opposite. It's like, no, you're really happy. You were very eager, anticipating to visit this shopping mall. So I was eager. Maybe you were begging, like I'm begging my mom to bring me to a mall. Okay, I'm assuming, writing from the perspective of a teenager. I'm begging my mom, please bring me to the shopping mall. Now, think about why is the shopping mall so busy? If you have been to a shopping mall on a public holiday, you will know the pain, right? You try to buy movie tickets, but you can't because everything is sold out. You try to, you have to like squeeze yourself between different people, have to jostle with others because it's just so crowded. And that's probably the case. It's a public holiday. That's why it's so crowded. Now, let's have a final look at the plan here. When I'm looking at the plan, I'm thinking to myself, hey, will this flow? Like the number of paragraphs, and do I have enough things to write in each paragraph? Beginning, okay, begging my mom, this is the introduction, it's fine. And the body paragraph, description of a place, description of another place. I have enough techniques, tools to help me write a fully developed paragraphs over here. So I'm fine with that. Waiting in line, screaming kid, I know how to describe a person here. So I'm fine, enough content for me to write. And we waited, but there was no seat for us, went home hungry. And same thing here, I will teach you later on how to describe an event. So all in all, I think this plan looks okay to me. What I would do is just change a few things here and there and say, okay, this is probably, I'm not going to visit on a public holiday ever again. And very importantly, I will include details. Now, when I say details, I'm not talking about like, oh, are you going to include like certain words or things like that? No. Okay, these details, the very basic one I'm going to talk about is the emotions in each paragraph. So make sure you have one emotion per paragraph, no more, no less. Each paragraph is grounded on that particular emotion. So this one, the first paragraph, begging my mom, definitely very happy. And describe the busy shopping mall. You go in there, you start to be, oh crap, I didn't know it's going to be so crowded. So maybe your emotion is a little bit like, okay, that's not what I expected. And then describe the busy restaurant. Again, oops, there you go. And when you're waiting in line, there's a screaming kid. That's when you start to feel very frustrated. Yeah. And then again, there was no seat. You went home hungry. Definitely not very pleasant experience. And there you go. You can see based on the emojis here, these 6 things. Okay, each paragraph shows a particular emotion of a certain intensity, right? Positive, negative, and then what kind of intensity. And when you're writing, make sure you keep referring back to your plan. Now, this is our plan. We're going to rely on this for the entire process of writing. It's very important that you have a plan, and it's very important that you identify the emotions. Very important, okay, that you write about emotions here. So that is all for this video on planning your recount narrative essay. In the next videos, we're going to look at how to write the introduction, so stay tuned. But before that, I would like to invite you to do a little bit of work based on this same question, right? Can you write up another plan like this? Something different from what I have. You can change the context of it. Maybe you're not going with your family, maybe you're with your friends, maybe you're not at a restaurant, maybe you're going to a cinema. Maybe you ended up having a wonderful experience. Maybe it's not as busy as the mall that I went to. This crowd is busy, but it's not too bad. So it depends on like what you want. So try writing it in the comments below. Do it in the YouTube comments below. I'll give you feedback. And no, you can see your friends' answers as well. So let's do that, and I'll see you in the next video.